Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking open a complete technical dossier on a truly remarkable tree. It's one of the most reliable, yet surprisingly misunderstood fruiting trees for cool climates, the Neverella fig. If you've ever thought that growing high-quality, delicious figs was something exclusively reserved for folks living in the sunny Mediterranean or the Deep South, well, prepare to have your perspective entirely shifted. We're going to dive right into this fascinating botanical profile.
So here's the ultimate horticultural question, right? Can we actually pull off growing world-class Mediterranean figs in cold, short summer Canadian climates? The inherent difficulty of growing a heat-loving fruit in a zone with limited warmth, unpredictable spring frosts, and long, brutal winters is just a massive hurdle for most orchardists. But today, we're looking at a variety that gracefully bypasses all those limitations. We're positioning the Neverella as the ultimate solution to your short summer puzzle. To get the full picture, here's our agenda. 1. Identity and origins. 2. Tree structure and fruit profile. 3. Yield and climate adaptation. 4. Strengths and weaknesses. 5. Master container guide. And finally, 6. The final verdict. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. Identity and origins. Let's clear up some mystery right off the bat, because the Neverella has a bit of a rebranded past.
Okay, the absolute most important thing to know here. Neverella and the incredibly famous Osborne Prolific, they are the exact same cultivar. The name Neverella emerged later as a trade name, basically just rebranding the same fantastic fig. You might also occasionally hear it called rust or tied to the French archipel, but the consensus is crystal clear. Neverella equals Osborne Prolific. And the best part? It's classified as a common fig. That means it is entirely self-fertile. It literally doesn't require any pollination from the specialized fig wasp to produce its beautiful, honey sugar-flavored fruit.
So, where did this rock star come from? These genetics were truly put to the test in the Pacific Northwest. It was introduced and stabilized by Osborne Nursery in Washington State, and honestly, it became a regional standard incredibly fast. Why? Because it fundamentally thrives where other figs just give up. It handles coastal humidity effortlessly and ripens with shockingly low heat units. Because of that, it spread like wildfire up into British Columbia's coastal regions and over to Ontario's container growers.
Moving on to Section 2, tree structure and fruit profile. Let's look at how this thing actually grows, and of course, the fruit it produces.
When looking at how it behaves, this tree is beautifully compact. In the ground, it'll max out around 8 to 12 feet, but you can easily maintain it at a tidy 5 to 7 feet in a container. It's got moderate vigor and loves a tight pruning. But here is the secret sauce: short internodes. The internode is just the physical space on the branch between the leaves. Because Neverella has really short spaces between those nodes, you mathematically get way more fruit packed into a much smaller footprint. It is incredibly efficient.
And when those figs do arrive, you're usually looking at about 40 to 60 grams each. That's a really respectable medium-sized fruit that feels substantial in the hand. And hey, if you've got a vigorous tree that is well-fed and perfectly watered all summer, those figs can absolutely push past that weight into the large category.
Aesthetically, it's just a stunning piece of fruit. The exterior has this durable bronze, kind of brown-purple skin, sometimes sporting these faint little yellow stripes. But you break it open and wow! You are greeted with an incredible visual contrast. It's an opalescent, amber-pink flesh that transitions into this gel-like, syrupy interior with light strawberry tones. It is literally picture-perfect.
Now for the taste test. Neverella sits proudly right in the honey and sugar flavor group. We're talking rich honey, deep caramel, brown sugar, all wrapped up in that soft, melting texture. But here is the catch, and this is absolutely crucial if you're growing this. You have to be patient. If you pick it early because you're eager, it risks tasting totally watery and bland. You must let it fully tree ripen until it's super soft. Only then will you unlock those deep caramel notes.
All right, Section 3, Yield and Climate Adaptation. We know it tastes great, but let's talk performance metrics across different seasons.
Let's trace the harvest timeline. This fig actually gives you 2 crops. You get a moderate Breba crop, which grows on last year's wood, ripening around June or July. But the true star of the show is the main crop on the new wood. In the Pacific Northwest and warmer parts of BC, you're picking your main crop in August and September. In the absolute coolest coastal spots, it pushes into October. The fact that it can ripen at all in those famously cool coastal summers proves just how few heat units this tree actually needs.
And the sheer volume of that harvest is staggering.
A mature Neverella has a massive yield potential of 10 to 20 plus pounds per season. For established trees, we are talking hundreds of figs annually. Plus, it starts fruiting super early, often by year 2, and it is incredibly consistent. It practically never skips a year, making it a total workhorse for a northern garden.
Just look at how it stacks up against other cool climate favorites. Desert King is awesome for its early Breba crop, for sure. But Neverella gives you that rich honey caramel flavor on an early to medium timeline for its main crop, earning an excellent rating for BC. Compare that to a famously delicious fig like Violetta de Bordeaux. VDB tastes like rich berries, but it requires way more heat and ripens very late, meaning it's only fair for short-season regions. Neverella simply beats the clock.
Section 4. Strengths and weaknesses, because a true dossier can't just be a highlight reel. We've got to look at both sides of the coin.
The pros are massive. It's highly productive, exceptionally reliable in the cold, incredibly container-friendly, and unusually quite shade-tolerant. The cons? Like we discussed, pick it early and it's bland. In the absolute shortest of seasons, the main crop might still run late without a greenhouse. And okay, it doesn't have the elite, ultra-complex berry flavor of a Black Madeira, but honestly, its rock-solid reliability more than makes up for that in a short-season orchard.
And here's a really fun botanical paradox for you. Neverella has an open eye, or ostiole, at the base of the fruit. Normally, an open eye plus coastal rain equals a split, sour disaster. Yet, somehow, Neverella demonstrates amazingly strong rain resistance. It actually thrives in wet spots like Seattle and Vancouver, with a very low risk of splitting or souring. It does carry mild fig mosaic virus, but it doesn't even limit the tree's vigorous output.
Section 5, Master Container Guide. If you're in Zone 5 or 6 and absolutely must grow in pots, this is your playbook. All right, step by step for the container growers. Step 1, start your young tree in a 3 to 5 gallon pot and move up to a 15 to 25 gallon as it matures. Step 2, soil. Make sure it's a fast-draining, highly aerated mix. Skip the heavy, mucky peat. Step 3, hit it with high nitrogen early in the spring, then pivot to potassium mid-season for fruit development. Step 4 is huge. Keep that moisture consistent. Drought stress will instantly tank your fruit size. And finally, step 5, prune it tight. Leverage those short internodes so your container tree stays a compact fruit factory.
Section 6. The final verdict. After analyzing its genetics, its climate adaptability, and its container viability, where do we stand?
Look, the data speaks for itself. Neverella easily ranks in the top 10 figs for Canadian and cool summer climates. It isn't some delicate prima donna, it is a true workhorse. It's the ultra-reliable honey-type anchor you can build the rest of your collection around. It's a stellar ripener for the Pacific Northwest, and its compact size makes it absolutely perfect for greenhouse overwintering and container rotation. So, to answer the ultimate question we posed at the start, does the Neverella belong in a cold climate orchard? The answer is a resounding yes. Absolutely. It proves that with the right genetics, you can completely cheat geography. So here's a thought to leave you with today. If a Mediterranean fig can thrive in the rainy Pacific Northwest and survive snowy Canadian winters in a pot, what could it do in your own backyard?